Hello and welcome. Thanks for showing up to practice today. This is a meditation for being with difficult emotion in the body. Whether there's fear or doubt, anxiety, worry, whatever negative emotion is present in the body, this meditation is a practice of simply being with ourselves when this arises. This is in no way intended to be a substitute for therapeutic or medical support. So if that's needed, I urge you to seek treatment. And if you're in the world of what we call the normal neuroses, then this is a great practice to work with for times when things just get intense, or when we notice negative emotion that's stirred up, that simply needs some compassionate presence. So I welcome you to practice, and please do find yourself in a comfortable seated or standing or lying down position, and take a few deep breaths before you begin, just to allow a little bit of settling in. And then when you're ready, the eyes can either stay softly open or you can close them all the way, whatever's more comfortable for you. So just settle in now, moving as you need to and coming into stillness as feels right for you right now. Allowing the body to really land. Feeling yourself supported by whatever is underneath you right now. And allow yourself to take up as much space as you need to, especially in your energy. If you want to let the energy that's in you fill the entire room, you can let it do that. If you want it to fill the whole neighborhood or the whole city, your energy can be as big as it needs to be right now to support your practice. And in that same way, if you want to bring the energy in, close to you, shrinking it down, holding it tight and close, that's also available. So really feeling in for what the body wants right now. Feeling the body supported, feeling the energy as big or as small as it wants to be. And then remembering the breath as an ally, whether that's drawing in through the inhale to receive what's needed, or exhaling to release what needs to be released. Just remembering the breath as an ally. Now finding the space in the body that feels most like your true self. The self that you know. Could be in the solar plexus or the heart. Could be in that pelvic floor. Could could be in the breadth of your shoulders or the soles of your feet. Anywhere in the body that just feels like, yeah, there's some truth about who I really am in there. And just notice where that is. Let your awareness rest there for a moment. You might even take a breath or two in this space. And then very gently let your attention go to the space in the body that is holding some of this negative emotion or unpleasant feeling. And we're just going to be visitors there. We're not going to live there. So we're just going to glance briefly into that space, almost like a flyby. And then come back to that space that you started at, that home base where you know who you really are. Today mine is in my biceps. And the difficult emotion I'm working with is kind of in my little ribs in the back. So just doing a flyby, just a very curious, very light awareness. How is it here? Maybe on an inhale doing the flyby, and then exhale coming back home to center, back home to that space where it's like, right, this is who I really am. Maybe try that a couple times. Really be light and curious about this. We're not looking to solve anything here or shift anything. Sometimes I even think of this as driving by a wreck on the side of the road, or kind of doing a flyover of something that's down below on the ground that's kind of a mess. So we don't want to get deeply involved here. Really just fly by and then come back to that place you started at, that home base of this is who I truly am. And you might even marry this up with your breathing. And then just like we did in the beginning, allowing the energy of the body to be as big or as small as it wants to be. We're going to do that same now with the distance between our awareness of that negative emotion and the negative emotion itself. So wherever that's most present in the body, let's say for example, it's in those low ribs. So sometimes I might want to have my awareness right up next to it, like right in it. And sometimes I need to be, up in that flyover space. Or maybe I want to be on the other side of the planet from it. or I want to be up in outer space, whatever distance it is, that feels like a really nice, safe space between you and this emotion that's showing up in the body. Just allowing that distance to sort itself out. So you're still in a little bit of relationship and awareness with it, but allowing it to really become distinct from the you that's doing the witnessing. Always breathing, taking this practice as lightly as we can. Good. And then very, very gently, either offering some very light-hearted compassion or well-wishing towards that space in the body that's gone a little sideways right now. Almost seeing it like if you had a pet that was not feeling well. Just some really gentle well-wishing. Really be light about this. And it may be that it's a compassion or loving kindness that you send to it that it may not even reach it for a while. You know, really needs to be a free and open offering. Okay, no agenda here. Not looking to fix anything. And the other practice you can play with is inviting this space that has this hang up going on, just to offer your listening to it and see if there's anything that it wants to say. And I wouldn't get into dialogue with it, but just to be the witness, to have the ears open. Is there anything that this space wants to say? Always breathing. Taking your time, either listening for what it is that's being said, or very lightly offering that loving kindness to the place in the body that's working with this negative emotion the most. If you want to keep working with that, just press pause and stay in that very light and airy relationship. really spacious. And then when you're ready, come back one more time to that home base that feels the most like you right now, the truth of who you really are, apart from this temporary experience. Come back to the part of you that's the most solid, the most true. There might be a simple phrase or a word that shows up that will just help you remember who you really are in the midst of this experience. And if there is, I invite you to say that out loud. And then take your time and transitioning. Be easy with yourself. Thank you so much for your practice. See you soon.